Hi, everyone. Well, we are going to re-review a bottle that is very special to me. It was actually the first bottle that I ever reviewed here on TikTok in March of 2023. We are going to review Benchmark Foolproof 125 proof. This was the very first bottle I reviewed on TikTok, March of 2023. I think it was also one of my shortest videos, which is kind of hard to believe. I think we did like a 15-second video on this one. I reviewed it another time. There's a reason I want to review it now. Since the last time I reviewed this, I have had a lot of higher proof whiskeys. Originally, I was more in the, when I first started out my bourbon journey, I was in that, 86 proof to 100 proof, then kind of like in the 90 to 100, then 100, 110. The bottom line is that I've gotten into appreciating much higher proof whiskeys. It's not that I don't like lower proof whiskeys once in a while. Your mood, changes. Sometimes you feel like something lower, sometimes you feel like something higher, but overall I've appreciated and enjoy higher proof whiskeys. So I'd like to come back to this one, which is this is what I call, and I tell a lot of people, this is one of my bottom shelf best bang for the buck recommendations. This is $23 to $25 in New Jersey. And is the highest proof in the Benchmark lineup, which we'll get into in a second. But I'd like to see how this compares in future reviews. I'd like to do blinds of this against various other high proof whiskeys in similar proof ranges, a little bit higher. But I'd like to see how that compares, because I thought when I had reviewed this in the past, I thought this was an excellent bottom shelf high proof. I want to use the term excellent, but what I'd like to say is I thought for the money, for the proof, I think it's a really good best bang for the buck. And I think, with that price, with this proof, and also, from the distillery of Buffalo Trace, I think it's a great deal. So just to recap on this one, this is distilled, aged, and bottled by Buffalo Trace Distillery, which is owned by Sazerac Company. It is a foolproof, which means by definition it is bottled at the same proof that it enters the barrel at. The maximum proof that it can enter the barrel at to be a bourbon is 125 proof. This is at the maximum, and this is exactly bottled at what it is put into the barrel at, 125 proof. Age is about 4 years, as is, I believe, the entire Benchmark lineup, and the mash bill undisclosed, but it is believed to be mash bill number 1, which is the low rye mash bill, which means that this is the same mash bill that later years becomes the Buffalo Trace, becomes the Eagle Rare, and the Colonel E.H. Taylor, and others. So that's what this is. Of the Benchmark line, it starts with the original one was the Benchmark Old Number 8. That's, kind of like comparable to something I just reviewed yesterday, from the Heaven Hill, quality bourbon, or even Evan Williams. That is the, their basic one. It's okay. It's really good. Maybe if you're beginning into bourbon. For my preference, I like the other Benchmarks better, especially this one. You got the small batch, the single barrel. The only one of the Benchmarks I don't have in New Jersey, never saw, was the bottled and bond. I've heard mixed things about it anyway, but to me, I've had all the other Benchmarks, and originally, before like 2 years ago, I had to go to Florida to get this. They didn't even have it in New Jersey. But of the Benchmarks, I've tried all the others. I really, really like this one the best. People say, and there's certainly a lot of differences of opinion, oh, this is a cheaper version of Stag. I've had Stag Junior. I mean, Stag Junior, from what I recall, is definitely better than this. But the point is that there's a big difference between what you pay for Stag and what you're paying for this. Stag's better, but if you want to have something that's close, I think that's what people mean. But the bottom line is that I'm going to open this one up. I'm going to re-review this on its own. And then in future videos, I'd like to put this against various different, doesn't have to be similar mash bills. We're not going for mash bills. We're not going for the same distillery. We're going at proof in this range, 120s, 130s. I'd like to see blinded how it compares, because I like this then. We're going to come back to it now. We've had a lot of really good high proof whiskeys, but we're going to review it now and review it against others blind in future reviews. So let's get this in a glass. Okay, so we got this poured in a glass. It's a screw top, so you don't do the whole cork pop and all that stuff. Let's give this a nose. That's certainly a rich nose. You can tell it's potent. You can tell there's a lot of proof there. You get a lot of brown sugar, very deep, rich brown sugar. There is some ethanol there. So remember, this is it's a bottom shelfer, but at the same time, I do feel I do feel this is not a better bottom shelf. I think this is a great value for the price. I think you're getting a lot for the price at this proof from this distillery. We don't want to talk about this because eventually these will be outdated too. So let's give this a taste. Cheers. I mean, that is a bold pour. That is a bold pour. That brown sugar transforms to the palate. Decent legs on the glass. The color for 4 years. It's not dark, but it's not light either. That is a good finish. It's basically a young Buffalo Trace at 125 proof. I mean, is it the most refined 125 proof? Probably not. I happen to like this. But what I'd like to do, this is going to be the key part for me. I'd like to put this, like I said, in future reviews, maybe a few days, weeks, whatever. I'm just going to keep this around. We'll put this in various reviews against different various high proof whiskeys in the 120s and 130s and do it blind and see where this comes out. There's one in mind that I'm fairly confident this is going to be, and that's the, I'm looking at my bar shelf, the Bulleit Bourbon barrel strength at 120 something proof, because I don't think that one's great. I like that may be the first one or maybe not. Let's give this one more taste. This is I feel the same way about it when I had it for the first time. To me, Benchmark Full Proof is my personal best bang. We'll call it bottom shelf best bang for the buck. Definitely one of them. Cheers. Take care. Thanks for watching.